into Doozy Podcast.
Doozy. Huh? What are you watching? Nah. It better be that new Doozy Podcast before I come over there and beat your ass.
Tune in to the Doozy Podcast where we let the good times roll, baby.
Woo!
You've seen Wayne's World?
I have a couple times.
What do you think of it? Did you see it with your parents?
I wanted to.
You saw it by yourself? I wanted to see it with my parents. I watched it with my parents. And then I had to go buy the hat.
Dang.
It was actually, honestly, I bought this hat because I was going to give it to my mom for like a birthday gift. And then I wore it once, and then I got one compliment, and that was it. I was like, no, I'm just going to keep it now. But there was like an old picture of my mom when she was like maybe in her 20s. And she was also wearing a Wayne's World hat. And then I was like, I'm going to just get a Wayne's World hat for her birthday. And I took it out one time. I think I went to like Staples to like print something out. And the guy was like, that's a sick hat, man. And I was just like, thanks. Those plans to give it to her like just went to shit. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to just keep it.
I mean,
that's the history behind this hat.
That's how you know what's up.
That's how I knew it was gonna.
Oh, it looks good on you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, then you got the wins, the crackheads.
The Fort Irwin crackers. Do you remember the Fort Irwin Coyotes?
I do.
Bro, they looked so bad.
The mange.
Bro, if they can make it out, if they can survive, then I think we can too, bro.
Surviving off what? Burger King?
Burger King, Subway scraps, Pizza Hut boxes, remains of marinara sauce.
Because there's no squirrels out there. I don't remember.
I don't remember ever seen a squirrel.
There's rabbits, some rabbits.
There's squirrels in Fort Hood, for sure. But, fuck no, not at Irwin. I didn't see no squirrels.
But I'd have to say, though, it's a small world, though. Like, you being there and I ended up showing up, and
I still think that's one of the craziest shit is that we're at the same place at the same time for so long, and I didn't even like. I'm pretty sure I ran by you or seen you like on we call it Fort Irwin Road.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we did like PT or something. And we like walked by because
your
unit was literally like right across the fucking concrete from us, like 25 feet was where you were at. And bro, I haven't seen you once. So when I got to Fullerton, I was just like, what the heck? And then he told me like, yeah, I'm from Irwin. And I was just like, only like if you know, like real ones know. And I was like, what unit? 211. And then we started talking about mutual friends, and I was just like, holy fuck, like we actually do have a lot of mutual friends, which is crazy. Like someone that I know, it's just like one of those situations. I think that was like one of the craziest things ever. Is I was like, how the fuck do you know this person? Oh, because I used to this and whatever, and I used to be like, what the heck? Like, small world shit, bro. People, you'd be surprised, man.
We both from Cali boys that, we grew up there, went on, joined the military, and the military sent us where they needed us, and then...
The same place.
Exactly.
And then we end up leaving the same place and going to another place.
Yeah, what a coinkydink.
Yeah, that's so crazy. You just came through. I think it was like my third or second drill.
And I feel now that being in the guard, everyone shits on the guard, but I'd have to say we've been doing a lot of stuff so far. I mean, obviously the train up to the deployment, we chose not to go because there was no need for us, and where they were going, it just didn't make any sense. So, and I feel, God bless the dudes out there doing what they have to do, but I just feel like our mission's going to come at some point later on in life, but... a lot of people, a lot of naysayers, but for the most part, there's just nothing but tough love.
It's literally nothing but tough love. And I don't know, dude, that whole week of like when we were deciding like if we were going to deploy or not or whatever, like having that option of saying yes or no was like so crazy to me. So I just kind of like sat there in because I was working someplace else, so I was kind of like doing my own thing. And I just remember, like, just sitting in my own thoughts, just like, bro, should I not? Like, am I gonna profit out of this? Is my life gonna go backwards? Am I gonna take an L? And bro, I just kind of like was like, nah, dude, like, I think I can sit this one out.
Yeah, and just to be clear for everyone, just to know our situation, we ended up coming out of active duty. He actually was stationed at Fort Hood for several years. He re-enlisted, went to NTC National Training Center, where that was my first and only active duty training unit that I've ever been a part of. And pretty much we met up in the guard. He re-upped for 3, I did 3, and
For the money though, right?
yeah,
Okay,
pretty
cool.
much for the money, just to kind of
We got a good check out of that just to join the guard. So.
Exactly. For a guy like me, like I've always wanted to deploy. Here's my opportunity to do it. They started, National Guard just being a little more unorganized than you'd expect.
Yeah, a lot more.
Exactly. It was havoc. Just them putting us with strangers. It's like, all the train ups we did, like you create a bond with these dudes.
Yeah, it's like you did all of this for what?
Exactly. And you know what? Hey, glory to all those guys that went out there that didn't have a choice versus us where we had the choice. Our missions were something else, and unfortunately, like, hey, we had our buddies and they had to go, and you know what? It sucked. And, there for sure were some sleepless nights for sure, hoping that
Yeah,
they're okay.
100%, man.
And, having them on social media, it seems like everything's good for the most part. But like we said, our missions were different. We had the opportunity to pull out, and I'm pretty sure every single one of them, if they had the opportunity, they would have. But our missions were elsewhere.
Yeah, it's like a lot to explain, but the way I see it is, I never wanted to make this decision and like down the line be like, fuck, I regret that. Like that's like the worst thing I think we could say. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that I've done in the last few months that I know for a fact that I couldn't have done if I went overseas,
Yeah.
So I'm pretty proud of that. There's a lot of things that I've done in this last couple months that I can be like, damn, like if I would have left, my life would have been on pause, but my life is still going. So yeah,
Exactly.
I just did another semester of school. Got one more left. Podcasting, of course. There's some other things I want to do, but I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't go. But there's always like I miss the boys. Shout out the boys out there, man. There's nothing but love. So when we do see like stuff on social media about them going on these 5Ks or whatever like that, like that's actually kind of dope. I'm actually like proud and happy to see them like getting yoked the fuck up and fucking like having a good time, or what it seems, actually getting those trainings in, because it's kind of rare, especially in the guard, to do like trainings like that where it's so fun and you guys end up taking like pictures afterwards or whatever.
Yeah.
So I seen them out there like holding up flags and posing with their kits and shit. Like that's dope, bro. Like I want that to continue for them, because I remember doing trainings in Korea or doing trainings out in Fort Hood or NTC, and when you do these crazy ass missions, bro, you just kind of like want to just take a quick photo with the group, like the platoon or whatever. Yeah. So I'm glad that they're able to experience it like the active duty way, where you basically do what you got to do, and then like a couple days later you get to still see those same people. Like you're not going home to your home of residence for like 2 months, and then 2 months later, hey, what's up, guys? Yeah. What the National Guard is all about. But
no, for sure. And him and I were having a discussion even before we started filming, just kind of touching up on like, why is it that we feel the need that we didn't need to go? Like, hey, you know what, we could do more stuff here, which is awesome. Like for instance, like for example, like I'm sure he's staying busy. He's got school. He's got all the whole podcast, the filming thing going on. And he's staying busy. He's making a good living. And so am I. I'm training all the time. I'm doing what I have to do. Like I said, our missions are a lot different. And that's one thing that I hope that our boys will one day understand. Like if they were in our shoes, I feel like they probably would have took the same route out. And it does seem like a cowardice way at the heat of the moment. We did get some backlash, but it's like at the end of the day, hey, you can't push someone. If someone has the option to do something, that's 9 months wasted of our life where we could have perfected, and we're almost done I'm almost done with school. He's almost done with school.
Exactly.
And I got a baby on the way. I got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So I feel when it is my time, obviously I'm gonna deploy. And as for him, World War III is just around the corner.
We'll see, man.
I know.
That's why I'm doing this 8-year obligation. So once I'm done with it, the Army or just the military period can't call me back and be like, yo, Kiki, come fight for us again. I have the right to say, nah, I'm good.
And remember, the cavalry's coming. Kiki and I are coming.
Yeah, you don't want us out there, y'all.
Raise havoc up in here. No.
It's much love to the boys out overseas right now doing their own thing. I'm excited till they get back, man, because not only were they good, people to work with in the Army, but definitely homies out at work too. Yeah. Like if we were all stationed with them at Fort Irwin, I know we'd all be like in a single barracks room drinking beer, watching stupid UFC fights or YouTube,
For sure.
So, shout out to the boys out there.
That's what it's all about. Yeah, I mean, most definitely, they're experiencing all these cool experiences and doing all these great things, and I have nothing but pure, I'm proud of them. I'm honored.
Yeah, 100%. Just kidding. Nah, but we kind of just started fucking. Nah, but we kind of just got into a conversation. But welcome back, guys, to another video. I know I had to take some time. I had to take some time personally to step away from the microphone and the camera just because of some personal complications. If you know, you know, but I think it's time. I think it's time to make a comeback. And shout out Jacob Pelayo for coming through for a comeback season. So it's pretty dope. Bless you. Was that a cough? Bless you. Dude, it just felt so like, fuck. Like I feel like I want to invest so much of my time into this. And it sucks like not being able to do that. Especially like financially, like how much I put into it mentally, physically. Like I really want this to kick off. This is like what I enjoy. Yeah. Like, how like sometimes you feel like you have a calling. You're like, dude, like maybe fighting. Yeah. But me, it's like I love entertaining people. I love talking to people. I think I'm a good person to talk to, but now I just want to do it on the platform. And there's a lot of personal complications that happened in the last couple of months to the point where now it's more of like a me and my brother podcast. Now my brother is the one that works with like the art, the merch and stuff like that. I'm the one that does the editing, the audio, pretty much everything. So it's a little change in scenery, but it's okay because we can still keep going. And it feels good to be back on the mic.
And for sure, I got to agree with everything he has to say. I think that's awesome that he's coming back. I feel like what draws him and I together all the time is our sense of humor, for sure.
100%.
One of them. And then the other one is he's an entertainer. I'm an entertainer. We enjoy this. Like I'm an amateur MMA fighter, and I like to put on a show for people. Like none of these fights are ever going to be boring. I go in there all in, and that's it. I either get knocked out or I knock someone out, or
100%.
Finish. And
I'm about to after this. I'm about to put his clip of him in the fight. But you're good. Go ahead.
Let's go, Pig! Let's go!
Yeah, but no, it's an honor to be here. He supported me. He was there for my fight. I'm gonna be here for him with all the podcasts and all that stuff. Like I said, he's the military, is so beneficial in so many ways. And yes, there's a lot of bullshit that you have to put up with, but you do find some of the most genuine, some of the greatest people you'll ever meet. And I was very fortunate to have met Kiki and all the other people that I've ever met, all the great
Appreciate
people, such genuine people. Like, nothing against the people that I met prior to joining, but just joining, you find someone that's lived literally.
It's like a different type of friendship. I can't even explain. I feel like I'm closer now with my boys in the military than I am with my friends back home now.
Oh, for sure.
And they're like, I haven't seen these people in like forever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy.
Yes, sir.
No, but what were you saying?
No, I mean, I was just saying how like it's just so perfect how you and I are able to support each other's passions, and that's honestly great. And we couldn't have done this without the military. Honestly, the military, it's a lot of BS, a lot of stuff that you have to put up with. This ain't no recruiting gimmick or anything like that. Like, if you want to go, and you go. Yeah. That's it, period. But, what's that term? Through the grapevine? You hear it through the grapevine?
Yeah.
Oh, we met through the grapevine.
That's like literally what happened.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm very fortunate to have met him. Like, we always knew of each other. We always seen each other.
Yeah, that's what's so crazy. That's what bamboozles me is the fact that we used to like run by each other every morning or go at the same dining facility, and we just didn't even know that 4 or 5 years later you'd be on the podcast.
Work out at the same gyms.
Dude, it's crazy, bro.
Hang out near the same barracks.
Have mutual friends.
Yeah, that was honestly a big one too. But I feel for sure like as soon as him and I had gotten out of Irwin, I feel Irwin definitely taught us a lot of things in life, and we were there during COVID. And you got to think too, like, you guys were locked down out here. Where we were, it was a different kind of lockdown. Like, there's barely anything on the base itself, and you're over here just locked. And they said you can only have one. At one point, it was only one person
in your room, and it was something like they had to leave your room like at 11 or whatever.
Curfew.
Like there's a curfew within the military post, and that you couldn't from like 2 to 5. You couldn't go to like the 24-hour. You couldn't go get like a snack or water or something like that. You couldn't like leave your room if someone like, I remember like, it's super funny. But I remember when it was COVID time, we couldn't go anywhere. I used to still like drive home. I used to like, fuck it. I used to just like go home because, bro, that's family. I have to see my family.
Yeah.
And I remember this one time I parked and it was way past curfew, and it was like one of the sergeants like walking by, like probably like for staff duty. And I got in my car and I had like bags of shit. And I just remember like looking back and he saw me and he had like a flashlight out. I think it was on his phone, and he like looked at me, and I was like, "Fuck, dude! Like it's past curfew." He seen me walk out of my car with like 4 bags. So when I looked at him and I looked back at my car, I started just loading all that shit on my back, like, like when you're putting like they're like, "Yo, give me five to load shit into the airplane." Bro, I literally started like putting shit on my back, and I closed my thing, my car like locks on its own, and I just remember like fucking just running, and he was like kind of far away. And he was like, hey, come here. And I was like, I live on the 3rd floor. So I ran through the first floor, ran to the other side, ran to the 2nd floor, and I did like a zigzag, like I was doing EPW, just like. And I went to my barracks room, I threw everything aside, and my heart was like racing. I was like, bro. Because, they would have just handed me like an Article 15. They probably would have been just like, you've been past curfew, and obviously you have 4 bags of laundry. Where are you at? Fuck, dude. I was back home. Just during COVID time, we couldn't, like, you couldn't even hang out with your friends and shit. Like, remember, like, we had to do PT? Like, we have to do PT in our rooms. Dude, I had to send, like, a picture or a video of myself doing PT in my room to my, like, leadership. They'd be like, hey, everyone send a picture of y'all doing exercises. Bro, I would literally put my phone down, put the timer to 3, get in the push-up position, take a picture, send it up, take my PTs off, and go to sleep. I did not do PT, bro. What are they going to do, come to my room? And if they do, I don't know.
Yeah, just tell them you have COVID.
Yeah.
There's so many loopholes and plot twists that you could do with all that. You had to be creative. And honestly, it was just definitely a different beast itself. And we're locked in our rooms, and you're just thinking about, man, is this ever going to end? Like, that's the most helpless feeling I feel anyone can ever endure, is when is this going to end? You have no friends, no family, or I mean, obviously you have friends, but no family around. You couldn't have friends in the room is what I meant. But it's a terrible feeling to feel that. Is everything ever going to be normal again?
Yeah, that was definitely like a weird time. I was like, bro, are we, honestly, when COVID hit, I was like 21. No, I was like 21, 22 years old. So I wasn't like, I can go out clubbing, I can go buy beer.
Yeah.
And I was in my little partying phase, I guess you could say. So when COVID hit, one of the first things I was thinking of was like, bro, are we never going to be able to club no more? Like,
Yeah.
I can't go fist bump to fucking Pepas
Can't go to
in
the
Riverside.
I feel played a huge impact on the way I am now today is, and I'm pretty sure you too, being
100%.
locked in the room and thinking, man, I would be doing this, or I would be eating this, or I would be, and honestly, like just a normal day at Fort Irwin without COVID, you know, you wake up in the morning, 5 in the
5
morning,
in the morning, 5:30,
go to PT at 6, physical training till 7:30,
7:30.
go eat at 9, and then
go to work.
yeah, and then after if you're not too busy, you get lucky to have lunch. And
Just depending on how fucked up things are, I guess you could say.
Exactly. More work after that, working on freaking BS wannabe tanks, playing a freaking World of Tanks.
World of Tanks.
And then literally
those
as soon
ads,
as you
bro.
know it's like 6, 7 at night, and like you don't have time to really do anything. You feel like you didn't do anything in that day. So now that you get out, you appreciate this time more. And now
Exactly.
like, going to
Dude,
school,
that's a big one.
yeah, we're you know, I wake up, I train, I go to school. Right after that, I end up usually just whatever I have going on for the day, I'll go to work, I'll do what I have to do, and then like I feel complete. Like I feel like I did so much in that day. I'll go work out again. I'll do whatever it takes to, and then have plans for the weekend, a normal Saturday and Sunday versus a 3-day and 4-day pass.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was such a cool aspect of Irwin was you kind of knew when you had those 3 days and 4 days off.
Yeah.
Sometimes they weren't really promised. They'd give you like certain duties in between, which would like really ruin your fucking weekend.
Yeah.
But nah, I think that was like one of the best things that I appreciated in Irwin was the fact that they're like, yeah, at the end of this week, you like, well, for me, it's just because we live in California. If we have a 3-day, that means we have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. I could be home Thursday afternoon. And then people who live farther would have to drive, get there like Friday morning or whatever, Thursday late. But dude, yeah, there's some
people living everywhere too.
Dude, yeah. And then when they're like, hey, we're getting released at 3 p.m. So, and I was like, all right, cool. All my stuff's packed. I can be on the road by 3:30. Go shower, go change, probably eat something, say bye to the boys, and just drive drive to where I live. But that was like one of the coolest things was being able to get out of work and within that 30-minute span, be in my civilian clothes, like halfway down Fort Irwin Road.
Yeah.
And just being like, and everyone's like, where you going, Kiki? I'm going home, bro. So I started getting to a point where my own friends were just like, bro, how come you never come kick it at Irwin? How come you never just stay and hang out with us? And I'm like, bro, I live 2 hours away. I'm gonna go see my friends.
Yeah, what would you do? What would you do? You know?
And I also was in a relationship at the time.
Us.
Yeah, making me feel bad and shit. Yeah. No, I was in a relationship at the time too. So, and my first couple years being in that relationship, I was at Fort Hood. So, long distance definitely played like a part. And the fact that I was only 2 hours away and I had 3 and 4 days off, like I would spend days with my girlfriend and then a couple days with my family. So it was just like perfect. And my friends too. Yeah. When my friends found out that I was coming back to California and that I was like coming home on the weekends, they were just like, oh, we got to make plans with Kiki. So it was dope, dude. That was like one of the things I'm very blessed that Irwin gave me the offer, like the ability to. The opportunity was go home and have these 3 days and 4 days and go kick it with family, friends, with my girlfriend at the time. No, I was like really blessed.
Yeah, and it actually felt like clocking out of work. When
yeah,
you
literally.
left those gates, it felt like you clocked out. Like, man, I'm on
the
leave
gates
from
of
prison.
hell.
Yeah,
the gates of hell.
For sure. And it was just like a long way just to get at that Fort Irwin Road.
Dude, it was like a good 35-minute, 40-minute drive just to leave one road.
But in all fairness, though, like the long drives home did help you in thinking about, you know, like your next moves, and you're able to just reminisce and just think about
there's
whatever
sometimes
it is.
There's moments where I've been driving on Fort Irwin Road back and with like no music and just kind of being in my own thoughts like, fuck, dude, we got to do this shit.
Like you're almost floating out of your body. Like you're just...
Yeah, you're just... you're on cruise control.
You're reminiscing. You're thinking about different things that...
You're like, fuck, I got to be up in like 6 hours.
Yeah.
I got to go pack. We got to do this week. I have to go to do this. I have to write this up. Like...
Yeah.
So, yeah, and definitely those... I actually did enjoy the drives back a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same term that people use every day. You got to enjoy the bittersweet things in life. That was the bittersweet things of being stationed at Fort Irwin.
100%.
For sure. And but man, I wanted to ask you, like, what
What's up?
have you ever heard any like ghost stories at Irwin? Or I heard a couple. I heard skinwalkers because it's like they're a big
Dude,
thing.
it's so crazy out there.
And
Did you know on like where they built the new houses in Fort Irwin?
Yeah,
It was built on a burial site.
I heard something about.
Yeah,
that.
I had a. That's what I heard. And I remember this one time I was like, "Yo, I need to check your shit. I need to see all of your CIF shit." And he was like, "All right." And I was like, "Whoa, he's married. He has a kid." And I was just like, "Bro, just lay it out in your house. Is it cool if I go to your house and like check your gear there?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah." So I drove to his house, and Irwin's one of the smallest bases in the world. So it took me like 5 minutes to get to his house. I pulled up, went inside, saw his dogs, his wife, his daughter, said, "What's up?" And I was like, "All right, man, let's get to this like inventory check. Let me get out of here." And then he was like showing me, calling everything out. And then we finished it kind of quick. He had all this shit. He was like kind of brand new. So I was kind of hoping that he had all this shit. And if he didn't, he's fucked up. But I remember he was like, hey, I think it was a specialist at the time, but he was just like, "Hey, specialist, did you know my house is haunted or whatever?" And I'm not with that haunted Ouija board stupid shit. I'm like, "Boy, shut your dumb ass." And I was like, before I walk out of here, and he was like, "No, really, it is." And I was like, "How? Like, how do you know your place is haunted?" And he was like, "When we first got it, we checked out everything. The water heater was good, everything." And he said, and about like 2-3 months later, because he was there for like half a year, so like half his time in Irwin, he was like, and now there's like a fucking upside down cross, like a red mark by the water heater that just like appeared. And I'm like, nah, like stop playing with me. So I literally opened it and I saw like this giant like upside down red. It looked like written with crayon or some shit, but it was like red and upside down. And I just was like staring at it, and I was like, yeah, next time we do any checks, we're gonna do it over there at work, because I'm not walking in this fucking house anymore.
Yeah, we ain't playing around here. Any reindeer games over here?
No, but that's when I started believing, like, bro, this place could be a little fucked up.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
I think I have seen some stuff. Oh, actually, I know for a fact I saw something, and one of them I think it was just because I was lacking sleep, and I was just like, when you gotta wake up for like 2-3 hours, or no, like the 2 to 3 like AM shifts. So you gotta wake up like 1:45 and wiggle yourself out of your sleeping bag and like open the turret hatch.
Yeah,
and
and
just
keep
be like,
in mind those sleeping bags made you look like a fucking caterpillar. You gotta wiggle your way.
And they were like, sometimes they get like super comfortable.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you're just like, if you're laying on those shitty ass benches in there and you get comfortable, you want to stay there. Like you want to like not move.
Oh, for
So
sure.
then you get like woken up at 2 a.m. Hey man, you gotta go watch. And then they give you like the PEC
listen
50.
to the radios.
Here's the PEC 50, like the PAS 12. And you're just like, what the fuck is this? Have you seen something out there?
I feel like there were several times there was something for sure. I'm not gonna say there was nothing, because there was something. I wasn't tripping or nothing. Well, one of them I was drunk, so I don't know. But unlike Kiki over here, I'm all into like paranormal. I mean, like I don't want it to happen to me, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Like I watch like movies about it, documentaries about it, docu-series about it. If you're on Netflix, like I'm always into that. I'm into horror movies, and I like to psych myself out sometimes.
Have you seen the movie Science?
Yeah, I have. Actually.
You have?
That was
Okay.
nice. That was like one of the OG movies I watched as a kid too.
Today, Junior?
Did it scar you?
I wouldn't say it
That
scarred me.
you? Did it like really scare you or no?
It definitely made me think
You're
about
like, what the
aliens for
fuck
sure.
is he fighting? What the fuck
Yeah.
is that?
Because even as a kid, like most kids don't understand what that was. Like the fingers under the door and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
They're just thinking like,
Yeah.
they're like it's a monster, but like they're not thinking like outside the box. Like, no, what they're trying to imply is that that's a fucking alien.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah, that didn't. I remember when I first watched it, it didn't really hit me like that until I got to that one like iconic part where like they're at the birthday party.
oh yeah,
And they're like,
yeah.
what is that? And they're like, what is it? And they have the camera out, and then like it walks across, and then they don't pause it right away, but they walk across, and all the kids were just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, it was like
Or
in
when-
Mexico or
Yeah,
something.
and I
in
was
the
like
video.
watching it, and that like my heart just like dropped to my fucking toenails, bro. And I was just like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, I was like, "Eesh." And I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And then Joaquin Phoenix, the dude that plays the Joker,
Yeah.
he was the dude that was watching it. And then he like rewinded it to the part where it was just like the alien like midway in the alley, and I was just like looking at it, bro, and I was like, "That's fucking scary, dude."
For
And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I saw that movie, and I was like 6.
Oh,
And then I was like I was a little like scared about aliens and UFOs and shit when I was growing up.
yeah.
And I actually not 100%. I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty confident that I have seen an alien in my room.
Oh, for sure. I feel like they're among us. Like, you know,
The
I'm not one of
game.
those people that's gonna shove it down
Imposter.
your throat, yeah, and be like, "Oh yeah, aliens are everywhere," and just stop living and all this stuff. No, I do feel like there's another life being out there in our universe.
100%.
With,
I
with
think
how
so.
big our universe is, come on, like there's got to be other things out there in a world, you know, where anything's possible, anything can happen. I feel, yeah, there's for sure something out there, and I am a big believer in the paranormal. Like I said,
Oh, I was just
don't
gonna
want
say
it
that
to
you beat me to it. I was gonna ask you, do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe
Yeah.
ghosts?
I do.
Have you seen one? Have you experienced?
I want to say there's a possibility I have. A couple of the instances I may have had with them was I was dog sitting at Fort Irwin with a couple of my good buddies of mine that I had. We had a couple moments where we'd watch like scary movies, you know, and they were
That's
some
so common.
serious. Like, these were not no low caliber, cheesy Halloween,
Like-
any of that BS.
The Halloween.
These were
What, the Nun, the
no,
Blair
it
Witch
wasn't the
Project,
Nun, it was
The Exorcist.
one of them. I don't know if I'm sure you've heard of it. It was like the study of something of Deborah Logan was one of them, and she had like
way I looked
schizophrenia,
at the
but it was
camera.
also like paranormal. Like I don't know how to explain it. That movie was pretty freaking sketch though.
Ooh.
My buddy and
I'm one for finding out like those low key movies that are hits.
That's it.
I'm like one for one of those. I'll match you with that. Have you seen? Fuck.
It was one of what are they?
It's with Hugh Jackman, so Wolverine, and Jake Gyllenhaal. And then Jake Gyllenhaal's a detective, and Hugh Jackman's daughter goes missing.
Oh, I think I heard
Fuck,
of
and it has to,
And
and then
she-
Mark Wahlberg's in it.
Yeah,
and then it has involves like a rose. Fuck, I'll get
Hugh
back.
Jackman gets abducted at the end, or like
Yes, he
turns
does.
himself in. or
He
something?
does. Sorry for the spoilers, but 100% that's what happens.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie, or have you heard of it?
I haven't. I heard of it though.
Yeah, that's a really good movie.
Is
If
it
y'all
a
know,
scary
then
movie though?
huh?
Is that a scary
No, it's like a thriller suspense.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I was going for more like those. It can be like any genre or style of movies. There's just the ones that are super low key, but like are super good. That's one movie you need to watch. But if you already know
for
about
sure.
it, but what's
I've heard of it. I
what's-
just need to watch.
What's it called again? The studies of what?
It was like the study or something, but it's Deborah Logan. Like it's
Yeah.
called Deborah Logan, and man, it's a trip because you get. I don't want to spoil too much of it.
Did y'all watch it in the night or in the like afternoon?
It was at night. That's when it was sketch. But
Oh, yeah.
the house that I was at was notorious for being like sketch. Like I had a buddy that
That was
literally
built
lived
on the
next
burial
door.
sites. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah, I had a buddy.
Probably.
Literally,
Go ahead.
I had a buddy literally living next door, and we just hear a thump, and I'm like, okay, like you know, the
You're like,
AC,
stop
it's
playing.
probably the AC.
Oh,
And-
like
and-
shutting off and being weird.
Yeah, and like you're thinking people are messing with you, but it was like legit. And we were
dude, I'd be so
drinking, and
scared.
it sobered you. It sobered you up. The fact that it had the presence to sober someone up. Was there something there? I'm not sure, but possibly I was probably just tripping myself out.
Yeah,
but
probably.
the for sure incident I felt like I had with some form of paranormal, for sure, 100%.
Was it at Irwin?
It was at
Nah,
It was.
bro, I'm telling you, bro.
And so one night I was obviously with my platoon and stuff, and we were at one of the buildings. I want to say in our buildings, the towns that we have are supposed to replicate Iraq. It's Iraq, right? Not Afghanistan, Iraq.
So I totally forgot.
I'm assuming,
but they're
Iraq.
all weird names.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, so there's like Razish, there's
Ujin,
all these crazy names.
Barasu.
But I think we were in Barasu, and we had split up. Was it Barasu? Maybe it was. I don't know. It's not
So
relevant.
if you do say Barasu, that's where I saw crazy shit when I was at Irwin. Remember when you asked me if I seen crazy shit?
That's probably what
I was at Barasu when that happened. So if you say Barasu,
an extinguisher flying off the LMTV. Is
Nah.
that crazy shit?
nah, I'm gonna put the clip right now of that.
My name is Logan, and this is Cutcast.
So I was with them, and then I had my team leader. I don't know where he was out. He was somewhere because I was brand new Joe, and I was actually a 240 gunner too at the time.
That sucks.
Yeah, it did suck. But then they said, hey, everyone just kind of spread out, go find a building. And my platoon sergeant, I'm not a fan of him at all. I don't think any of our platoon ever was.
From the stories, no.
Yeah,
sounds like a real douche.
Yeah, he really was. So that actually sounds good.
I'm about to get some Chipotle after this too.
With some fucking queso and everything.
No, but they do that. No, if you they charge extra for guac.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, but
Guac, queso, all that.
oh yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm right.
They're fucking always trying to shaft us. Have you ever had
Always trying to take our
Qdoba?
fucking money, huh?
Have you ever had Qdoba?
Yes, I have.
low-key like
How
that
did? Where did you have it at?
Benning.
Okay, that makes
had
sense.
one-
That makes sense.
Benning had one. I think they had like a airborne PX, and I ended up going to that. for some
Oh,
crazy
okay.
reason. And
I
they
was about
had-
to say, how the fuck did you eat Qdoba?
Yeah, we would just pretty much like walk
Right.
over there. Yeah, it was just there. They had a Burger King.
So wait, Benny,
Yeah, it was in Benning.
for. Wait, did you do Ranger?
Yeah, it was. So I ended up doing the RAS contract.
Oh,
I
you had
picked it
an
up at
option
basic.
40.
I
Oh.
picked it up at basic.
Oh, okay.
Originally, I had an option 4, which is airborne,
Just straight
strictly
airborne. Bro,
But-
you should have stayed with
I
that.
know.
Oh, then
we
dude, you
never
probably.
would have met.
Yeah, true.
And we wouldn't be talking about Fort Irwin right now.
Yeah, you ate at Qdoba when you were during like your Ranger training, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was. So it was just like we'd wake up. It's kind of like a normal basic training day, but
Mhm.
except they would let you go at like 5 or 6 to go to the library to go do whatever you need to do. And a couple buddies of mine, actually one of my buddies had a truck, so we would just drive over there real quick, get
Hell
some
yeah.
Qdoba. That was the first time I had it, and I actually like it more than Chipotle.
Yeah, I do too.
Better
I think
quality.
it's a lot better.
Especially the workers, man. Like the workers' quality now. Like
Yeah.
I get it. You know, you're in the fast food industry somewhat, and it's like, you know, in a sense, you kind of hate nothing against them, but it's
Mhm.
like, man, like, though I went literally
ain't-
last week, and
They don't want to be there, bro.
they're slapping the guacamole all mean.
Yeah, and
they're
like,
like-
the remains of it, it's like hitting
Yeah.
you in the face. You're like,
No
what?
fucking meats at all. They just have chicken, no steak, no nothing. And then
Oh yeah, there's always that one that's just completely missing, bro.
yeah, and it's
And
midday
it's probably
too.
When is what?
It was midday. That's the nut.
that's some they're on some nut shit if they're at a fucking steak at 1
Bruh,
p.m.
On God. But anyways, back to our whole paranormal situation. Our sexuation. No, but
Our situation shit.
my incident with it was so I had a NCO, a sergeant, a head platoon sergeant, who this guy, like, man, he was just motionless. Like, he didn't care about other people's feelings. Like, for real, it's like, yeah, it's your cliche terrible NCO standing non-commissioned officer. This dude, I just trip out. He just never cared about us. He made it seem like he did. He just didn't. I'm trying to get you guys out of here as soon as possible, when he's just bullshitting in the office. And it's like, if you're a real leader and you want us out of here, like, aren't you gonna, like, just help us out real quick? Like, what can we do quick? And then he stalls, and you know, he just never wanted to go home and be with his wife and kid, which I got another story about that later
Oh,
on down the
God.
road. Sad story. Really sad. But yeah, this guy, like, he just was not a fan favorite at all by anyone. There was no one that liked him in the platoon. But long story short, he ended up, there was the incident, the paranormal witnessing incident. The team leader was out and about, And I ended up they moved me to an area. They're like, hey, just go in this building and just secure it, and that's it. Just by myself. Brand new E2. Doesn't really know much about the Army. Didn't really pay attention to a lot of the stuff I should have. But the cool part, the bittersweet things was I was by myself and I had my phone. And then, but anyways, I ended up, like it was nighttime and it was like, I want to say it was probably like almost midnight, I'd have to say. And I hear children laughing.
No,
like a
bro.
typical, like I swear on everything. Like this is not for clout. This isn't for anything. This is what happened. And next thing you know, like I hear children laughing, like you're cliche, like in a movie, like like the giggling.
Like
I'm like, bro, I'm on a military.
Oh, yeah,
compound.
wrong one. Never mind.
I'm on a military compound, dude, and there's no
applause.
kids. There should not be any kids in sight. We're in the field. We're in the box. And
The 110-degree desert.
exactly.
area.
Not at night.
Who
though.
the fuck's what kids are gonna be out here and fucking?
Yeah.
What time was it? What time was this?
It was almost midnight. It had to have been like at least like
God.
almost 11 or probably 11:30, almost 12,
11:30.
almost midnight. But I
Were
hear
you
them
like
giggling?
Were you like sleeping? Were you awake?
I
you,
want
like-
to say I was just bedding down. Like I was just bedding
okay.
down. I just had like probably my underwear on because it was kind of a hotter night. I had my underwear, my boots, my socks pulled all the way up like SpongeBob. and then next thing you know, like I had my nods mounted and everything. And this is where I feel something. Whether it was
giving me the
a
chills, bro.
malfunction of my nods, I ended up pulling them down when I walked outside. I pulled them down, and it was just plain black, like just black. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? So I'm like messing with it. Cliche, something you see in a movie, like realistically. Like this isn't like something I wish I made it up. It was just scary. 'Cause
Ooh.
plain black, like something was in front of me. Like there was like a straight wall, but I'm looking outside. Like a straight wall, like black, and then it turned, and it's like a straight wall. So I was like, "What the hell?" And I started like looking around, and there's barely any loom. Like with nods, you need like the moon.
if you get some sort of loom from the moon, like it'll like line up the entire desert. But if you have no loom at all, it's like you're fucked. Like
yeah,
there's no like you can have night vision goggles, but like they're not gonna be as effective. If you get a little bit of loom, it'll light up that whole room you're in. It'll be like,
yeah.
But if you have no loom, dude, you're gonna see some shit.
Yeah, for sure. And some people were telling me it could have possibly been who are the people that play as like the civilians? What are they called? Like they act like good people. Remember at Fort Polk, when we were at Fort Polk, they were like chanting at us saying, "You guys are baby
Oh
kids."
yeah, those
What are they
people. I
called?
forgot what they're called.
Yeah, some people said it was them, but they like Fort Irwin just I don't know. I don't remember them allowing children back there
That's so
Like,
crazy.
during like actual
Like actual training,
yeah, where we're shooting each other. Yeah, they're blanks.
but it's the act of like it could be a kid running out there and we're still gonna pull our gun out on a kid and be like, oh shit,
Exactly.
we
and
didn't know that there was kids out here and maybe
Yeah.
we should put the guns away, you know.
for sure. And
So the fact that you heard that though, like loud as day, you heard it and you're like, whoa,
yeah,
like,
for real, man. And like usually, like I was an early bird.
did your
in the
heart drop?
military.
Like did your heart fall? Like drop? Were you just
A
like
little bit,
you're
yeah.
like what the fuck was that?
At first, like it didn't like
It didn't hit you like that. You heard fucking kids laughing.
not at the moment, but shortly after when I go outside and my nods are acting off like that, like a wall was in front of me. Like I just opened the door. There's nothing there. Like it's just like hills, like all these terrain. Like I could see the stars. Like I could describe that, and that's why it was insane. Like just to see that, and I feel that was my first.
And then you put the nods back down, and it was just like completely.
Yeah, it was like a wall. Like I was looking into a wall. Like it was like the knots were still on, but it was like I was looking at a wall. Like it was like a brick wall. If I had to say anything, like it was insane.
Are you trying to
then I
imply
started,
like that could have been like a person or a being standing in front of you?
Yeah, it could have been.
Is that what
someone,
you're-
like a guy with like a striped shirt? Like I don't
Walled
know. Like,
up?
that's why it's like and we would have these like scary ghost stories and we called them tracks, but they were like the Bradleys, the wannabe, in the civilians terms, they're tanks pretty much. And we would just be having like these like late night stories,
Conversations with your crew about, man, you ever seen anything crazy out here? You seen anything crazy ever?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, when I was older, I used to play with the Ouija board.
Yeah,
bro. And then,
like,
and then you start finding out like the crazy stories between your soldiers. Just like, but I remember this one time, and then, I don't know if they're gonna watch this, but this one time I was like going to do laundry, went to the first floor, like the CQ office had like a window, and I would like look in, walk like past him, walk past the door, and be like, "Yo, what's up?" and open like the laundry door. And then the one time I looked and I saw him, and he was like, "What's up, Sergeant?" I was like, "What's up?" And when I looked at him, there was literally a Ouija board sitting on the CQ desk, like a full on Ouija board. And I was like looking at him, and I just saw that like was like a, what do you call it? I just like saw red. I was like, why the fuck is there a Ouija board in this CQ desk? I was like, bro, and I'm not even religious, bro. Like, and this is bothering me. Just imagine you get someone who
is
religious and like does not partake or is a fan of what that is. Like, they're gonna flame you, bro, or like make a complaint. Someone's gonna like call up that you're being a weirdo, and then they can kick you out for like failure to adapt because you're weird. And I like went off on him about it, and I was like, bro, I'm not even like one to be like, like Ouija boards are cool, blah blah. I was like, bro, I don't fuck with that. I don't even know why you have it, bro. And like, and you're on duty. You playing this during duty? Like, this room is gonna be forever haunted, bro.
Yeah, because of you.
Because of you, fucking dickhead.
Fucking let out the fucking Satan and all this.
Everyone, all the demons in the universe just come out of the
Satan come out, fucking balls hanging. Satan shaft, devil's fucking a flame just covering his.
Just because of that one dude. Dude, that fool could have unleashed Satan into that CQ office, and I just told him, I was like, boy, get that shit out of there. And he was like, Roger, sorry, Roger.
And it's funny that you mentioned that too, because just with the military life, the military is notorious for taking people that just aren't our cup of tea. I'm not gonna say like we're normal and like, oh yeah, this is the example of normal. It's just there's people out there with whether they have personal problems or whatnot. Sometimes you'll get people with screws loose, literally screws loose. Joining the military, I've met more people like that than I did prior to joining, for sure. And I'm sure you've met some of those people that like to fuck with bugs and stuff like that, and like talk about torturing, like going down range and torturing women and raping the wives, and like it's just barbaric stuff, I'd have to say. Yeah, no,
you definitely you'll meet like a handful of weirdos throughout your military career.
For sure.
That could probably be a safety hazard in the future. Not like to you, but also to others when they're older. You're like, I could see that dude leaving the military and probably heading in a bad direction.
Yeah.
And then as much as you try to talk to him or change his decisions or try to toughen him up, they're still gonna like.
And we
be
were
weird.
even victims of one of them. Him and I, our first National Guard drill ever. Bro, it was the weirdest thing ever. Kiki, but he's a sergeant. He's leading the squad, right? And I'm his alpha team leader, I believe it was. And we're over here doing a movement, and I guess this dude behind us that we just got to this bit. We're prior active. We go into the guard. This guy's straight guard.
I think this is my first squad training in the guard.
Yeah.
So this is my first time working with just the guys there. Like, we're at work, but we're actually out in the fucking hills, like doing shit. So, so
literally.
This is our first training with the guard. This is our first impression. Go ahead.
100%. And then next thing you know, as we're moving, we had another guy. He was a little on the chunkier side, but he was moving very slow. And then we had this guy who was just like running, and I guess he was flagging people, and he flagged. And we have live ammo. Like, we have full-blown green tips that possibly mixed in with some tracer round. This guy got flagged, like straight up flagged, and no one knew. Like, this guy could have went the rest of his life
and not told a soul, and would have still slept peacefully every fucking night.
Exactly. It was a 5-day drill. We ended up coming back at I think day 4.
The day 4, like really late.
We came back super late, and this guy just like was sweating. Like, he was just like sweating. It just. I don't know if he had a girlfriend that it's like the reaction you have like when your wife is sleeping with another guy and you walk in, your heart just drops.
He's like spazzing. He's like spazzing out.
Yeah, like this guy like just wasn't himself. I'm like, hey bro, like you good, bro? Like I don't want to mention any names, but I'm like, bro, you good? And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I just got something I gotta get off my chest. I'm like, yeah, you wanna like talk outside or something? Like we could go talk. Like it's battle buddies. Like we're here for each other. He's like, yeah. And then we ended up walking outside, and I did not like understand.
You did not expect to hear what you were about to hear.
That's a better term. I did not expect what I was about to hear, for lack of better words. And this guy's like, I don't want you guys to ever see me any different, but I have a confession to make. And I'm like, fuck, is this guy gonna like tell me he's gay? And I'm like, oh, what can this guy say?
He's like, what if he told you he had a crush on you?
I probably would have just like
walked away.
I don't know, man.
You're like, man, stop playing.
I probably would have let him on for a little bit.
No,
I'm just kidding.
All right.
That'd be funny. Like serious face, and he wore glasses too, with like the little band behind him. And he's like, I flagged you and Sergeant Rivera. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh,
you're like
the
which
live iteration.
Yeah, which time?
Yeah, the live, the blank, which one? And he's like, the live. And I almost tripped, and I almost took your guys' lives. And I'm like, well, that's good to know. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, how are you just so, like, chill about this, but at the same time, like, you're stressing it. I'm like, dude. And then actually, like, yeah, I flagged you guys. He's like, I'm sorry about that, and I just hope we can move on from this point. And I said, and then after I went up to him, I'm like, yo, Kiki. Hey, Kikius. Kikius. And then next thing you know, I'm like, bro, this Dingleberry over here, I don't want to say his name, but he just straight up admitted that he flagged us, like full blown in the head and everything, under the ACH and everything. And I'm like, damn, bro, that's a below the belt, bro. This guy could have flushed us out.
Do you remember what I said?
You're like, your reaction, you're just like,
no, I'm pretty sure I said like,
what'd you say?
I'm pretty sure I said something like, I think I said something like, "Oh shit, for real?" Like, yeah, I was like, for real? Like, yeah. I wasn't, bro.
You gotta remind me. It was
something like I was just like, really? That fool flagged us? And you're like, yeah, that's what he just admitted to us. Yeah. And I was like, damn, like, what do I do? Like,
those are some near-death situations.
Yeah, I mean, it's done now. I'm glad he didn't trip and shoot us.
But who else did you have that was a knucklehead? I know at Irwin you had some juicy ones.
I had one right before I left.
You gotta rank them. You gotta rank them in the top 5.
I can give one from the top of my head right now. I had this dude. I was in charge of him at Irwin. It was like towards the last couple months before I left active, and he was like super into like
the Fort Irwin Mia Khalifa.
No.
Let's get to the chase, shall we?
Sweating. Nah, but he owned like a Chucky doll. Ryan Garcia.
Oh, shit.
We got socked in the ribs and took a knee, bro. Dude, I was gonna bet on that too, bro. Shout out, before I continue that story, shout out Tank Davis. That was crazy. I give you credit, like that dude's a beast, man.
Yeah, he is.
But he got, bro, and he knocked Ryan out like in the 3rd round. Remember, he like fell down.
Yeah, he dropped him,
bro. That was like, I was watching the fight, but also like playing beer pong at a family party, and then I was on Twitter just like, and then just saw like 4 tweets of Garcia got hit, and I'm just like, no, he lost. And I went to like the highlights or whatever, and they said that he dropped him, but he got back up, and I was like, oh shit. And I saw that video of him getting rocked, bro. Yeah. And I was like, bro, he got him good.
Yeah,
and then
he got reckless.
And towards the end, when he gave him one right in the fucking ribs, bro.
Got him good. I just turn around, I see chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your toes.
Bro, I forgot that was going up.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what's like your experience with those dodo birds?
I had a soda that owned like a Chucky doll, So that was really weird. Like the ones you get at like Spencer's. The ones
Just
that, the ones
that
that,
right there.
the ones that are like at the top of the shelf. They're like cool. You're like, yeah, that's kind of cool. The ones you like, look, but not the ones like, yo, can I get it?
There's two different.
Yeah,
types
there's
of
two
people in
different
this
types
one.
of people. The ones that are like, yo, look at that giant ass Chucky doll, and you get the ones that are like, let me get two.
I'll take
And-
two.
And yeah, he had one of those, and I know like it was underage, so he couldn't drink. And I remember this one time, he got like really drunk, and then not my roommate, but my roommate, but to my right side, he was like also a new young soldier, but that was like one of his close friends. So of course, my soldier would always go to that room next door where I live, and I can hear them playing music, playing games. And bro, you're in the barracks. Like there has to be some sort of alcohol included, bro. They have to be drinking. And I ended up like going somewhere that day. I was gone for like the whole day. I wasn't at the barracks, and then I ended up getting like a phone call saying like, "Yo, I just got like a text from fucking this person, and supposedly they're being weird and doing some shit in the room." And I got like this weird, like no one you said like, I wasn't expecting what I was gonna hear. It was literally like,
Did you recognize the room number or something?
no, I know where it was at because it was next door, but it literally was like him laying down with like Chucky where his head is at, and it was like they did like one of those like
What
red
the
circle things around his body, and then it looked like a star in the middle. And
Oh, so you was
they're
trying to put his body
I think so.
in uniform and everything?
Wait, what? Who's in uniform? Chucky?
No, the guy.
No, he was like in his regular clothes,
What?
but he was like laying down with like this weird marking around his body, and the Chucky doll was like his hands were like flailed out. And then when they took a picture of him, and I was like, are they doing like sane ritual shit next to my room? I don't really fuck with this paranormal shit, and I was like, now they're doing it next to my room.
This guy just starts shaking. Hey, yo, open up. I don't fuck with that shit.
Doom 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 doom.
You want some chorizo? Want some more chorizo? Stories are funny, man.
Shit.
I just like how we feed off of each other's energy. Like
That shit was
we just
funny,
get
bro.
going and we just hype each other up, and it's funny.
That's a good inside joke. But yeah, no, I've had a couple of those fucking doo-doo dodo birds. And
We'll categorize them as fucking dodo birds.
dodo birds. If you know, you know. But yeah, they're weird, man. You get a couple of them, and obviously the story with what's his face flagging us.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Shout out him.
Yeah, and
Shout
then-
out him for not shooting us.
And there was even a more recent one where I think he was doing another range, and this was before, like, leading up to the deployment. One of, like, all right, I do not feel comfortable going overseas with this batch of cookies that they're putting me with, and I could just relate them as a batch of cookies, as every single one of them were just as worthless as a batch of cookies. That's fucked up. I should.
Yo,
But-
shout out Cookies, bro.
But like, bro, like these guys that were like, they just put me in a completely different squad. No one I know, and I don't trust anyone. And they're all straight guardsmen. I'm the only active guy that, and I'm not saying, oh, hey, I'm better than anyone just because I'm prior active. It's just I live this. I lived it every day, so I have a right to choose at least. Hey, let me go over here with my boys, the guys that I freaking literally bled with. I literally shed tears with. I was sweating with, especially at Louisiana with that humidity. But you know, it just like it was nuts. And with them, like
Nuts.
I was over there, and another incident had happened where I got flagged. Like the dude, like I as a team leader, I had to check his make sure he didn't have any ammunition. He was just getting off a range, and then he goes to show it to me, and then like I go to like
Inspect it.
yeah, I'm inspecting everyone else's, and then I hear the bolt go forward, and the gun's pointed right at me, and I like look, and I'm like, bro, I'm like, if there's a round that comes out of this bitch, like,
You're like,
I think that's a sign not to go on this deployment. Sure enough, I go up to him, and I'm not gonna mention his name. Rack one, a green tip flies out, bro.
Dude,
And
my heart
that's
would've
why
dropped.
I was done. There was nothing anyone could do. And then I had talked to some higher ups. Like, I am not, like, I get
Comfortable,
it. You guys need
I don't-
team leaders, and I'm not even an NCO yet. But it's like, I get it. You guys need team leaders, but don't use me as a pawn to try to lead these guys that just don't want to listen. They Like, and I'm not an asshole of a guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know how we are in terms of leadership. Like, that's why we get along so well. Like, it's nothing personal. You know, let's have fun with this. It sucks. Let's not make this any worse than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's those people out there that hate their lives, have maybe an ugly wife, ugly girlfriend, whatever the case might be, whatever the reason why you're upset. Like, that's on them. But leave that out. Leave that there. Like for instance, when you come home, like, and you had a bad day at work, you don't bring that home to other people.
especially military.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't say it's easy for everyone, but for me, keeping my professional and personal life, like, from each other, I've done that, like, really, really well.
Exactly.
About how, you know, sometimes over here I'm like a different person, but when I'm at work, I'm like on a different level because I have to be a sergeant to people, and they're just like, Sergeant Rivera, this and that. And you're just like, oh, that's Kiki doing this. But when you come over here, I'm all over fucking laughing and shit like that. But I've done like a fine line of keeping professional and personal life away from each other, to the point where if I have to yell at someone at work, like, I won't be home yelling at someone else, like my roommates or, you know, my dog or something like that, unless that fool shits on this carpet.
Yeah, that fool's wild as hell.
But I'm yelling. But
Yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely like one of those like life incidents that kind of tell you like, hey, you know what, like, maybe this isn't a good idea. And that was definitely one of the things that kind of, and him and I, back to that whole incident where we had the opportunity to play with our boys. Hey, God bless you guys, by the way. You guys are making it happen, you know.
Yep.
But hey, we're getting ready for World War III. We're getting ready for the end of the World Series, baby. Let's do this. We can pitch a no-hitter.
Final series.
And we're here. We're here to stay, baby. 10-0, baby. 10-0.
But I have one more thing to ask you before we shut it down. What do you think, how did it feel like getting back into, like, fighting again? Because you fought recently, but when was your first fight?
My first fight was last year, around this time, actually.
So it's been almost a whole year since you fought, like, in a ring.
Yeah, the only problem was just injuries. Because I was working as a package handler at UPS, and a box had hit my knee. I ended up straining, like, something, like, I forgot what ligament. It was either the LCL or the
MCL.
ACL, one of the CLs. I ended up straining it, and my coach is like, nah, don't go in there. Like go in there 100%. I want to see what you can do. And then try to book another fight. Nothing went through. Then we went to Louisiana. That's when I was under the impression that I was deploying. I was all in. But with that, like, I was just always training, and I promised myself that I wanted to keep training. I enjoy having the ability to protect myself and protect others around me. And that's why I keep on training. It helps me stay busy. It's my form of meditation, and that's why I enjoy it. And I personally, I look up to Tim Kennedy. I think Tim Kennedy's a badass dude, and just everything he does. And I look up to anyone that's in the military, you know, anyone that trains and is currently in the military and is a good leader and has all these good attributes to them, and they're genuine people. Those are the people I respect. Those are the people that I would literally risk my life for sure, 100%. But just being back in the fight scene was definitely awesome. You know, obviously he came out to support. That was cool just to see him show up, and that's why I want to support his podcast in any way that I can. But yeah, the training, I mean, it's awesome. I encourage anyone to at least do some form of martial art.
Yeah.
Because there was this book I forgot who wrote it, but I just remember the most dangerous man in the world is a humble man. A humble man that at least knows, hey, a little bit, you know, you exercise just a little bit. That makes a difference in life or death and in general. And to be a leader, you also need to be able to lead, you know, and walk. And, hey, during freaking Fort Polk, Louisiana, when we were there, this guy and we freaking survived all these long-ass movements.
Yeah, we didn't.
Alongside with other people. And there were people passing out left and right.
Yeah, we're like one of the, I think if out of 30 people, I think a good 10 to 15 didn't do the whole process, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and we made it to the final battle with no one. Like, this guy was the freaking, what were you, the captain of the company, and the jab, like, this guy walked up 2 big ass jabs over. Those things aren't light, man. Those things are half the size of a man, a full grown man.
Me and
what's up?
and Stevens.
Yeah, sorry, Steven Spielberg.
Shout out that
man.
dude. Me and him were hauling ass with those javelins.
Yeah,
And once we knew that we were the ones to be shooting them, we were like, oh, we're gonna get some kills.
yeah.
So we took a lot of credit. We could have passed it down to someone else, but
Oh, for sure.
I was like, you know what? If we gotta win this war, I'm gonna carry this jab.
And that wasn't even the war, though, at Louisiana. The
No.
war wasn't even there. It was after when we got together, and all of a sudden, a propane tank just blew
Jeez.
up. Bro,
Yo, I'm about to put
all
the
of
I'm
a
about to put the
sudden.
clip right after this too, bro.
What the fuck? What's up, Miguel? What the fuck is going on? Bro.
All of a sudden, our guard unit came around, and it was survival of the fittest. We ended up becoming a detail firefighting team and put this fire out.
Rattlesnake,
Yeah.
Operation Rattlesnake.
And the boys were there to put it out, and we need to have more times when they come back and enjoy ourselves and have different places to share these beautiful
cookouts.
memories.
Maybe like organize maybe like some football games, basketball games, picnics.
Yeah,
Like maybe group dinners at places, bro. Yeah, 100%. That the way I'm starting to see shit now is like, you gotta like appreciate what you got.
exactly.
Because you can kick with someone every day, and like when they dip out, you're like, damn, bro, like I'm gonna miss that fool.
Yeah.
But it sucks even more is when they're there and you don't kick it with them, and they're just there and there and there, and like maybe one day you'd be like, yo, what's up, man? Like I saw you at work, blah blah, blah, or you want to do something, but you guys don't, and then they end up dipping out. You're like, bro, that was a cool dude, cool homegirl, and they just dipped out.
For sure.
So I'm like really, I'm on that level where it's like, if you got time and you don't want to be home and you got transportation, like go say what's up to someone. Go share a beer, go to the park, do something with like your homegirl, homeboy, and just like show them that you appreciate them.
Yeah, and keep yourself from not going insane too.
Yeah, like you get,
'Cause-
if you're cooped up in your own place for too long, you'll start. I mean, personally, I'll start going a little crazy. Start
Yeah.
thinking like
I think we all
negative.
would.
So I think I've been doing a pretty good job, at least the last couple months since this year started, hanging out with more friends and planning more events. So I think that's like one thing I encourage too is like, man, you got time. We're all young, money comes and goes, but like organizing events to go do shit with your friends. Because right now I have like, me and my friends we're gonna go to Sequoia, and we're trying to plan this whole
nice.
trip. And one of them actually has it on like a Google's like maps, like you could set stops and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like she has it where you can like input like where do you guys want to go, where like different places we can hit on the way there. And I was like, that's pretty dope.
That is sick.
So when I look at something like that, I'm like, that's like an organized, big plan about like you and your friends just going out to do something. So like, I think I've been doing a pretty good job hanging out with my friends, and it just feels good. It feels good hanging out with friends. I can't wait till they get
we're
back.
just talking about mental health, like
Yeah.
how big it is, and how like PTSD is a real thing. Mental health, being like having low self-esteem. We just have these bad days, and eventually it leads to another bad day and another, and you almost feel like
There's no good days.
Yeah, you're kind of living in a hell on earth, pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's just staying busy, and that's why like when I came back, and I don't want to like force people or ever tell people, but my strategy works for me and your strategy works for you. But for other people to kind of take what we have to say and use it to their advantage, and maybe go out with their friends and go find something. Like, for instance, like a buddy of mine literally hit me up like, oh, should I get into Muay Thai? And I'm like, yeah, bro, go for it. Like, just to have that little bit of experience. And plus, like, the thing that I like about mixed martial arts, or just any martial arts in general, is when you go in there, whatever personal things you have in life go out the window.
Go out the window, just completely blank.
Exactly, like, and you're in there sparring. Well, if you're doing boxing, Muay Thai, any striking, like your main focus is that guy in front of you. That guy, and usually sparring is not always hard, but sometimes it is. And now you have you have a problem in front of you that you have to deal with accordingly.
At the moment, yeah.
Exactly. So it's like oh, my car broke down, my car's not running, oh, my girlfriend left me, oh, any problem that you have going on just disappears for whether it's 15 minutes to an hour or however long the practice is. It's like any other sport, and that's why also going out with your friends and having fun, you have a good set of friends. That's why it's like when we go out, on missions and doing whatever we do, it's not that bad at the end of the day. And it's
really
even,
not.
Yeah, it's not even work anymore because we're over here messing around, horse playing with each other, cracking jokes. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
But people fail to understand that every single day, and I feel that we gotta, there's only so much we can do, but at some point come into a common ground and just make sure everyone has fun.
Just make sure everyone, especially, is feeling appreciated, and everyone's just like in the moment, like, hey, you good?
Yeah.
Like, should we do this? Should we do that?
Yeah, life's too short to figure
Bro,
things
yeah,
out on
I
your
think
own, man.
so. Now I'm at that point where I'm just like, I agree, man. Like, life is literally too short, and if you don't really spend it doing much, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna be kind of caught up in your own moment.
For sure.
So I highly encourage just fucking going out there and just making someone laugh, or at least just leaving your house for like
Hanging
5-10
with the
minutes.
boys.
Like if you just go for a walk to go get mail, but
Watch a movie, go to the club,
Yeah.
go to the strip club, find a friend there. Like, life ain't that bad, and I feel that people sometimes they just look more so at the glass half empty, more so than half full. It's like there's people out there, and it's interesting too. I was literally at school the other day, and there was it's like a foreign, I don't know, he's a foreign
Fez?
student. Yeah, he's from Myanmar,
mm-hmm.
and like this guy told me the other day how bad it is there. I said, do you think the United States is bad? He's like, no. He's like, you're safe here. You're safe. Everyone is safe. Like, there is nothing to worry about. But over there, you need to worry, because I asked him about, like, I talked to him about preparation, because I told him, like, yeah, with everything going on, like, I'm saving my money. I'm buying extra water, extra food, extra supplies just in case, for some odd reason. Oh, hey, Orange County's water is going to be
shut off for like a week because of,
yeah,
this. And you're
yeah.
like, oh, shit, we're actually going to make it.
Exactly. So now it's
Wait,
like
you actually do that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's what's
like,
up.
I'm not like a doomsday prepper, but I like to have at least a little bit of hope in the back. Like, I have like a little wannabe bug out bag in the back of the truck. It just gives you morale. It gives you courage. It gives you hope. It gives you a chance to survive. That's it. That's all it is. It isn't like, oh, I'm going to be living in that thing for a year. It's just a chance to survive.
No,
And that's why a lot of people kind of overlook a lot of that. But at the end of the day, hey, we're all unique in our own ways, and if we all came together as one, shit, our world would be too damn good. A little too damn good.
Yeah.
Too spicy.
The aliens would be intimidated.
They'd be fucked, bro.
They'd be intimidated.
We'd be invading them. We'd be invading them. Yeah, we'll be fucking with them. We'll be shaking their fucking beds in the middle of the night. Fucking
pulling their blankets when they're sleeping.
Bro, literally. All this paranormal shit, we'd be fucking with them back.
We'll be in the ghost
You think
world.
they'll be able to handle that? No, they'll have sleepless ass nights. Just like they do to us. Upside down cross, and we'll scare them back.
That's funny as shit.
Fucking yeah, it's just crazy. It's definitely interesting though, like that whole mental health topic, but I just feel everyone could just kind of come together as one. I feel like that'd fix a lot of things for sure. Like the boys, literally, our group, the boys.
Yeah, literally just text one of them, and they'll literally. I feel like we have a really good group of friends. I feel like you can hit them up, and someone's gonna answer and be like, "What's up, dude?" Yeah, like you can talk to me. Yeah, I'm doing something, but I'm gonna walk out. I can talk to you.
Yeah,
I've actually had to make those phone calls a lot in the last year about. No, like for me, just like, yo, man, I'm kind of going through it, and if I don't like really speak up or say anything, like I'm gonna explode, bro.
yeah.
And they're like, all right, bro, let me hear you out.
Yeah,
And I just go boom, just go off about crazy shit. One of my boys, his name is Keith. Shout out Keith. I think we're out doing training, and I was just going through it so bad mentally, bro. Like, but no one knew because I was just trying to like stay in my own lane, especially being a leader, like not trying to like let my personal life affect my professional life. And I think I do a pretty good job doing that. But as soon as I step out of uniform or if I'm home, then it kind of just like hits me like a fucking train. Like, oh, the different things I stress about, insecurities, just boom, just on my like fucking on my lap. And then Like, I was at drill, and it was so bad that I was like, bro, I need to call somebody. Like, bad. I think all of y'all were sleeping. It was like 1 a.m, and I just had to step out. And yeah, I called him. He was sleeping. It's like a 2-hour difference because he's in Texas. And it was like 2 a.m. He answered, and he was like, yo, what's up, bro? And I was like, yo, bro, like, my bad. I know you're sleeping, dude. My bad. And he was like, no, like, you're good. And he was like, what's up, bro? I'm here for you. And then I literally just started venting him about all the shit I was going through. And he heard me, like, mention a lot of shit. And he was just there just listening. And I was like, afterwards, after I calmed myself down, I stopped being, like, a little dramatic. I was like, bro, I appreciate your friendship, bro. Like, it feels good to have people where if you're just, like, going through it so bad, you can just text or give them a call and be like, yo, bro, I'm kind of going through it. And if I don't say shit right now, dude, then, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. And they're like, yo, like, let me hear you out or whatever. Yeah. If you have homies like that, bro, those are friends that you need to keep for a long time.
For sure.
But yeah.
No, that's a legit thing, just to sit there and listen. And, like, that's awesome. That's what I love about our group. You know, no matter how bad it is, like, even sometimes, like, we find different ways to cope with it. Like, oh, let's go to the PX, or let's go to the store, you know, like, let's go to 7-Eleven.
Exactly.
And then especially, too, you said 1 a.m, like, man, those are, like, the times where those nasty thoughts.
Yeah, and the demon hours, those are, like, the worst hours. If you're going through it and it's, like, 1:30 in the morning, you're looking, you're like,
just think of the worst things ever. Like, bad things happening to your family. You're like, man, well, I can't stop it. And that's when you think about death. Like, man, I don't want to die. You know, like, you think of shit like that.
It'll keep, like, it'll keep you thinking about some shit. It'll keep you going, just like, oh, this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, but, for sure.
But no, mental health is, like, a really big factor. Especially, that's something I really plan to promote, especially if podcasting goes well. I think mental health is one of the most important things in the world, besides you know, each other, but making sure that someone can be there, but sometimes they're not really there. So you just kind of have to, like, put that little hand on their shoulder and be like, hey, bro, you good? Like, that can go a long way. You just saying, like, yo, everything's okay. That's why I'm a firm believer of just, like, hitting up your homies, homegirls, and just being like, yo, you good, blah, blah, blah. So,
and I'm going to try to not get as political as, you know, because it's a very a sensitive topic for sure. But I did hear something the other day, and I actually read something prior to hearing about it. But the United States, it's so focused in solving other people's problems to the point where they're not focused on the individuals internally. And I found that very interesting, not only because it's true, but because this isn't new. This isn't like a new thing, and this is something that, unfortunately, it's overlooked with the United States. And, you know, trying to help out Ukraine, helping out other people, but it's like there's a fentanyl crisis going on. And then you have someone that just, you know, like if you know someone's going to commit suicide, try your best to keep that gun from them. It's not worth it. Yeah, I know they're going to find a way. There's other ways to do it. But, I mean, like, it's just for crying out loud. Like, let's focus on the cause that's bigger than other people. Like, let them focus on their own stuff. You know, like, why don't we just do what we got to do here? And all our money is going towards other people, you know, that may very well turn their back on us. Who knows? Like, we're all in this together, and like I said, if we can all just unite somehow, and I know this is a little cliche speech, whatnot, but literally, like, it's overlooked all the time, and it sounds dumb, it sounds absolutely bizarre, but you're
like,
came together.
Yeah, we just kind of locked arms and kind of been like, bro, we can do this.
And keep each other busy somehow. Like, I get it, you know, like, I'm lazy myself. A lot of people typically are, but it's good to at least, hey, do something, you know. Because when you do that something, that's something to talk about. And then you got more things to talk about, so on and so forth. But that's why I like expressing this, you know, obviously with you, because it's just awesome. Like, we're able to have these crazy good discussions. Makes you a little more open-minded.
Exactly. Sure. Yeah, if you got homies that can actually sit down and talk to you about certain shit and not be 100% goofy all the time, they can just be like, yeah, bro, I actually agree because I also read something. Like, those are the ones that you can actually, like, open a beer with. And next note, it'll be an hour and a half later, and you just be like, oh, you're like, oh, shit. You're like, bro, I probably should head home.
I
You know,
just
like
solve fucking world hunger right now after like fucking 8
the cure to
beers.
cancer, bro. You just casually said it and then just forgot about it.
Yeah, literally.
You catch yourself doing that. But no, that's like one thing I plan to do is definitely promote mental health. If this ever goes a little bit more, that's like one of my big factors is if I could help out. Yeah, but nah. But I do appreciate you coming out, man. I know you're on a busy schedule. I'm like prior in the episode, I was gonna show a little clip of your fight. I'll put it on.
No, I
there.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely.
out
I'll put
there.
your stuff down there, your information, to let everyone know that who you are.
Yeah, because
And,
we're entertainers, man. That's what we do. We do it a little different fashion.
A little different in different ways, but
Same concept.
same,
Same big picture.
but different. But I know I do appreciate it, Pelayo, for you coming out. I know it was like a little bit of a drive, but dude, it feels good to be podcasting again, and I can't wait to like get back into it more. Instead of it's a group effort now it's a solo effort, and I feel like
the local like fan base that do want to hear us out. You know, the haters are obviously gonna think this is trash and whatnot, but it's like we have the ability to speak. We have the ability to say things, and hey, you may take something from it. You know, and I'm not saying we're neuroscientists and we know exactly, you know, oh hey, how to enhance your brain or nothing. It's just we're everyday people that we possibly have the same problems that anyone else does.
100%, man.
But yeah,
I can't stress that enough. You said it for me. I do greatly appreciate you coming out here and having a good conversation with me. Even when we took our breaks and stuff, we still kept the convo going. It's not like we stopped for
blazed it
a
up
video.
little bit.
But it just like
and started coughing.
and then it just flew. The conversation was just going.
Yeah.
But no, I do greatly appreciate it, bro. It means a lot to me. It feels good to come back to podcasting. I know a lot of people were kind of hitting me up and saying like, yo, like we hope that you do podcast again. And I was like, yeah, it's just a lot of personal complications. And now that they're kind of like set to the side, and I'm just like, you know what, I can push forward from these giant roadblocks. So here I am again, recording and podcasting, and it feels good that not only did I get to come back to this, but to do this episode with you. So
No, I appreciate you for
appreciate
having me. I really do. And I want to just say, like, man, like this whole podcast and all this stuff that I'm actually really impressed. I think this is awesome. Like, yeah, I see it on YouTube every day.
yeah, but now you're just
But,
like
your own homies starting it. So you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit for everyone. That's
I
for sure.
appreciate it, man. It's like a little, y'all can't see it, but it's like a little setup right here. Yeah. It looks pretty badass.
I'm sure you'll have a bunch of characters on here, though. And then maybe get something with the boys going.
Yeah,
When they
well,
come back, see their experiences. I'd like to hear their story. I feel like that one's gonna be like 3-4 hours long. We're all
yeah,
gonna be
man. I'll
drinking
probably have to
beers.
do like a 2-part video to it or something.
Yeah, I
But,
can't wait to see them, man. See them
yeah.
and see everything that they've done, and it's gonna be cool.
Much love always.
But God bless
And-
Kiki. Shout out to FuziTube, West Side.
Fuzi too. Nah, shout out to everyone that watches the podcast. Yeah, I'm sorry I kind of gave you guys blue balls on the last video. I greatly do apologize.
Who's Gone Wild podcast.
Yeah, it just like a lot of dumb shit was going on, so I needed to take. This was just laughing, man. There was a lot of dumb shit going on, and I was just trying to stay away from the drama. I was just trying to like isolate myself. But since then, I think I've been taking care of myself, having a good time, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time to come back to it. So hopefully y'all appreciate this, and bro, I'm ready to record, and this dude just can't stop laughing, bro.
Let's fucking do this. I said Fuzi.
This is
I'm
what.
trying to do the Who's Gone Wild combined with Doozy. Bro,
Oh, that's why you said Fuzi too. But yeah, appreciate it, y'all. Y'all take care. Much love always, and
hey, peace up.
check out his shit. Check out his shit, man. He's a good fighter.
Yes, sir.